Welcome to part 2 of our Hawaii yard walk. We're going to start up on Kohala with a little wind noise on the northern end of the Big Island, and then this episode will end down on Mauna Loa, which is the largest volcano on Earth by volume. So we're standing on Kohala. Traffic behind me. We're standing on Kohala Mountain, which is the northernmost of the 5 volcanoes that comprise the Big Island. And down in this direction, I'm looking, are the resort area of the Kohala Coast down there, where it's sunny and everything. And Kauai High Harbor is down in that direction, which is one of the 2 ports on the Big Island where container ships come in. Okay, so we're a little camera problem. We're here, like I said, on Kohala. Kohala Mountain runs somewhat north-south, and so on the east side, which is the windward side, is where it's greener. So if you pan the camera around over in that direction, those lumpy bumps up there on the other side of the highway there from the trees, those are cinder cones. Kohala's essentially an extinct volcano. It last erupted, I don't know, I haven't looked, 100,000 years ago, something like that. It's not clear where if there's no visible caldera. Kohala might never have had a caldera. It probably, we don't know where the caldera was. So it's just a mountain line with some humps. And if you look down this way, back toward the resort area, that's the drier side. Here where we're standing, the grass is pretty green, and there's a lot of horses and cows and stuff in this area.
The ironwood trees, also known as Casiorina trees, were first planted by Captain Cook, who introduced them from Australia.
They have long needles which fall and form a curved leaf, and it's called ironwood because the wood is really hard. And so when the Hawaiians first had them, they could use it for things that needed really hard wood.
They used them to make fish hooks and stuff like that because they didn't have metal.
Again, on the side of Kohala, looking down the Kohala coast, the clouds over there on their side of those trees, that's going to be Hualalai. And then if I look farther left here, that one sticking up right in there, that's got to be Mauna Kea. And then of course we're standing on Kohala. The town of Waimea is going to be down over the hill here. We'll see it as we drive around the corner, but probably won't bother to film it. But that's where the town of Waimea would be. It's in the saddle here between Kohala and Mauna Kea. We're on the west flank of Mauna Loa at a natural area and a rest stop. And there's this really interesting plant here. Unfortunately, I think there used to be a sign here, but there isn't anymore, and I don't recall what this is. So Kathy will try to look this up, and then if you can figure it out, I'll put a note in the video. But it's pretty wild looking. I'm standing just east of the town of Naalehu. Kilauea volcano is in that direction, and if I pan to the left here past our car, there's some hills up there on the horizon, and with a partly filled in valleys in between them. And those hills always puzzled me. they're older. The hills themselves there are older than the lava that filled in around them. And wasn't ever really clear why they were there. There's a couple different theories, but recently I read a study that I think answers the question. The southwest rift zone from Mauna Loa is way back up the slope behind those hills. But it used to be very close to those hills, and those hills were a poly or cliff right near the rift zone. And so the rift zone was there, and it was extruding lava, and there was slumping going on, and that formed those cliffs. Well, then the rift zone moved way up to our left back behind there, and then these hills started to erode over the millennia, and some valleys formed, and then when the new rift zone eventually inflooded, and that's why there's material, I don't know if you can see it from where we're standing very well, but it's material in there in those valleys. Now those hills partly guard the towns along here. Pahala is down in that direction, and it might be fairly safe from Mauna Loa lava because of those hills. This is the Mauna Loa Road in Volcanoes National Park. We're at a cattle guard, which I'm guessing might be to prevent pigs from getting into the lower part of the park. The trees here, a lot of these trees have the sickle-shaped leaves, and those are koa trees, Kathy says, which are an endemic Hawaiian tree, right?
Yeah, koa tree.
And the Hawaiians used the koa for a lot of things, including canoes. There are some other trees. There's some ohias we saw. Coming up here, we saw a lot of ohias that looked like they had died, but it also looked like there was new growth coming up from the bottom, so I'm hopeful that the ones that get killed by the sudden death syndrome will come back. We just drove through a kapuka, and a kapuka is an area where the lava flows down the hill, and it flows, like water in the, lowest spots. So sometimes it goes around a high area. So there's like this little hill that's left with lava completely encircling it, and that's a kapuka. And the trees there tend to be older, and they reseed the area around it. And you also get, although they're fairly small, you can, in the case of insects, get some new species. Since it's isolated, it's like an island. So like Darwin's finches or the Hawaiian honey creepers, you can get some insects on a kapuka that branch out and in a relatively short time evolve into new species of insect, which is kind of cool.